Hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, friends. Welcome to REtoken, the real estate DAO. This is Yonks, and super excited. We are actually on our second working group here tonight for building out the blockchain bootcamp for real estate. And during our first working group, if you missed it, you should go back and watch it. We got so much done. We actually minted a social token, RETCAMP, to represent this product that we're creating. And we're really looking to create a new type of a product. This is something that we saw a need for as far as really making it easier for educating people, real estate people, about blockchain technology. And I use people with a high degree of intentionality in this particular case, because there's really several categories of people that we're going to be developing this boot camp for. First one is real estate professionals. Those people have been working in the real estate industry for a while. The second is real estate investors. We really believe that a huge opportunity with real estate and blockchain is the tokenization. So we're going to be providing lots of opportunities for people that want to invest in real estate through blockchain to do that. And then the third bucket of people, and longer conversation, but we're really looking to help renters become owners through through blockchain technology. And that's one of the things that super excited, like literally just within the last 24 hours, we launched officially something that we've been talking about for months now, which is a cooperative housing investment club here in Colorado. So that's another conversation, but with me here tonight, in not any particular order, we have 5280, the profit margin blurs day, and Mrs. Yonks, Tyler. And I have said and continue to say Mrs. Yonks is my superpower. So hopefully our baby daughter will not be too demanding of her, so that we'll be able to get, because Mrs. Yonks has been doing a lot of stuff already. But anyway, let me get this thumbnail off of here. We have some agenda prepared, and let me actually, we're going to talk about DWork here momentarily, but this is our agenda. So one of the things, and let me actually bounce over to DWork since we have the profit margin on here today with us. Would like to provide the profit margin a quick opportunity to say hello if you would like. If you don't, then we'll hop right into your DWork task that I created. So over to you, the profit margin.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, man. I just want to say I'm really stoked about learning more about the project. I only really found it a few days ago. Although, bringing real estate on chain, tokenizing has been something I've been curious about since kind of learning a little bit about the ecosystem. Found Citadel. I'm an ex-realtor. Would love to, find a way to more ethically and more equitably make money through the real estate model, and super interested in not only kind of alternative housing models, but really I'm kind of anti-tenancy. I don't see a lot of strength legally, financially, or really in any other way from the tenancy model. And I've had some personal experiences to illustrate that. So we're super stoked about cooperatives and the whole idea of being able to not only fractionalize ownership, but do just what you said and convert people from tenants into owners and restore their power in the economy. And they're truly the basis of everything in this economy is property rights. So,
well, fabulous. Welcome to our community. We love to create a very inclusive community here. And we really believe that the opportunity for real estate blockchain technology is literally unlimited, and not going to go into details as far as why, but we also have a new person here tonight, 5280. I don't know if you would like to do a real quick introduction. I see a pass, so we'll keep on going here. So right now we've got a suggestion of the day, and this is something that we had some feedback on, and this is absolutely fabulous. This is dwork.xyz, and I'm going to put this comment on Discord here real quick. I do have streamer mode And we have a live stream channel, and it looks like we've got a comment in here. So Mrs. Yonk's always doing a great job. So here is the link to the task that Profit Margin submitted on here earlier today. And this is one of the things, again, DWork is a new Web3 bounty board, and it's very similar to Trello. We've been using Trello for quite a while at REtoken, and just for the sake of memory purposes here, let's take a quick look at our Trello bounty board. And this is one of the things that we're in the process of migrating over to. But this is one of the things here, a suggestion. I'm not going to go into details. We'll talk about that here. But I did want to go ahead and switch over real quick and get this approved, because love the suggestion, and great job as far as even providing some additional context like Doodly. One of the other tools, and have you used Miro?
No, no, I'm not familiar. Mirror or Miro?
I believe it's Miro, M-I-R-O.
I don't. That's a new one. No.
Yeah, so I believe I was on the Proof of Good, and this is a what do you call it? Another DAO that one of our community members, Amy, introduced us to here through Token Summit DAO recently. And one of the things that was very interesting about them is that they utilize a live streaming format, which is more unique in this space. A lot of Web3 DAO communities are built using Discord, and this is one that they use StreamYard, and I've participated a couple of their DAO halls, but they were using Miro, and I think they had like 30 or 40 people like contributing. It's a collaborative tool for doing some fun stuff. So that's something that we'll probably take a look at. We love doing tools evaluations to see what really clicks and allows us to be more collaborative. So anyway, I am right now on the REtoken DAO hot wallet here, and I'm actually going to go ahead and approve this. Now, one of the things that will be interesting to see if it adds you as an assignee here on this. So let's see what this does. And I don't know if we can put you in here. There you go. And let's move this to in review. So here's the in review. I think I already approved the submission. So let me actually do an approve here. So what this does is this moves it to the needs payment column. And this is one of the things, REtoken is a social token. One of the things that is very different about our project, and I saw a little bit of talk in the Zoom channel. One of the things that we've got on our roadmap, and right now we're still on a Trello roadmap. Let me bring this up here real quick for everybody's benefit, because this is something that probably will make a bounty for, is creating this roadmap in Notion, since we're in the process of doing some tools updates and stuff like this. But one of the things that's very different about REtoken, the real estate DAO, is that we are taking a security token path. I like to say that grandma and grandpa money hasn't entered crypto yet. And if grandma loses her seed phrase, grandma's screwed today. And from a regulation standpoint, there's this designation called a registered transfer agent. And they basically, in that scenario there, if grandma lost her seed phrase, the registered transfer agent would burn the security tokens and reissue new security tokens for grandma. So grandma is all good. But where I was going with that is that we have on our roadmap, and you can see right here for 2022 Q3, we are actually doing a regulation crowdfunding that we're planning on doing via a security token path. So just wanted to talk a little bit about that. So one of the things that we're planning to do as a component of this security token regulation crowdfunding offering is doing a conversion for the social token over to the security token. And those conversations haven't even happened yet, because that's a little ways down the roadmap here for Q3. So these are not monetized or liquid tokens. And one of the things, the way that Mrs. Yonks and I understand the securities regulations here in the US, if you are involved in the issuance of a token, and then you're also involved in the conversations regarding the establishment of the liquidity for a token, then you're basically creating an unregistered security. So we're going to be taking, again, a security token path to market, and that's something that we're going to be having more conversations about here later in 2022. So anyway, let me refresh this. I'm going to go ahead and pay out this bounty. And this is one of the things, like with this boot camp, this blockchain boot camp for real estate. We're very excited to create an affiliate program, and that's one of the things that we'll be talking about here. So let me go ahead and click on pay. We're going to go ahead and do this real quick. So, oh, it doesn't look like that you have a Web3 wallet, like MetaMask is one that we use. So we'll get that taken care of later there, profit margin. And anyway, let's get back to the agenda over here. So show progress on the RETCAMP tokenomics. As I mentioned here before the start of the live stream, we are doing a separate token, and this is something that we've already launched here, and I'll provide the link real quick. This is snapshot.org for those people that aren't familiar with Snapshot. Snapshot is a very popular platform for doing governance in decentralized autonomous organizations. And here is the link, and this is us, REtoken DAO. Hello, Julie, I see your comments on the live stream here, and here is the link for RETCamp on snapshot.org. And I'll copy this for everybody's benefit as well on Zoom. So this is something that we set up on our first working group that we did a couple days ago. And anyway, we don't have any proposals right now. We'll have a first proposal. We like doing a Genesis proposal, but that's not something that going to worry about right now. So tokenomics, we decided to mint 374 million. This was a tribute. There's some details on this. Let me paste this link here real quick, and I'll throw this in the live stream. Discussing tokenomics for RETCamp right now. Okay. So this is something that we utilized in the tokenomics for Token Summit DAO. Not going to go into details on Token Summit DAO right now, but 80-20 rule, Pareto principle. So talking about an 80-20 token supply distribution. So what does that mean? So one of the things that we had some preliminary conversation with is doing 40 seasons. And right now, look at having this again on a monthly basis. Mrs. Yonks has already set up a pretty solid outline, I believe, on hopin.com. And that's the virtual hybrid event platform. And that's one of the things that we're really looking forward to. I don't know if we'll really have that baked into the one coming up here on April 23rd, but that's a Saturday, about 6 weeks from now, I believe. I think it's maybe 6 weeks from anyway, it's 5 or 6 weeks from now. So going back to the Pareto principle, 80-20 token supply distribution. So 80% for the first 40 seasons. Let's do the easy one, 20% to the treasury. So here we're talking about having this own tokenized project, RETCamp, so 10% to that. And then this is a project of REtoken DAO, which is involved in the Triple Win Foundation 3-Win DAO ecosystem. So, and then taking a look at the first 40 seasons, and one thing that I was thinking of just to make it easier, we've used season 0 in a lot of our other projects, but with doing this on a monthly basis, I think just doing season 1 here for April the 23rd. And just going down the list, so that's one of the slight changes that I'm going to make since since I uploaded this the other day. And this is basically a screenshot from I think Google Sheets or something like that. But just going down the list here, and you can kind of see how it tapers off, because our expectation is that this should get easier and easier. And then when we're delivering month in and month out on this event format, this is something that, should get substantially easier. And then we should have a revenue stream, and the token should be worth more. And the thing about this too is right now, the only thing that we really need to be concerned with is budgeting for season 0. Because at the end of the day, right now, what we're talking about is allocating 5% of the tokens for creating season 0. And one of the things that I'm not necessarily a huge fan of is spending an over amount. And it's real easy to spend a lot of time on the tokenomics of conversations, and the opportunity for us to get more creative as the time goes on. Right now, the most important thing for us to do is to deliver an absolutely fabulous boot camp. So that being said, I'm going to stop talking here. And based upon what I've said here on the tokenomics, the 80-20, and I'm going to, again, just stop talking and hear somebody else chime in on this conversation.
It looks pretty cookie cutter, pretty straightforward, which is a good thing.
I agree. And I did copy and paste, Blurs. There was some copy and paste involved.
One of the things that we're looking at doing is creating this event on a monthly basis, and the more cookie cutter we can make the format, the easier it'll be to just update the content and just provide people the updates on the important stuff. So right now we just want to make it really clean, really easy. The reason why it's so heavily weighted towards season 0 is because, and season 0 and 1 is because this is when it takes the most work. Getting it off the ground, once we've done two or three of these events, they just get significantly easier. We felt like DAO Day was such a home run that all the work that we put in for that, we're translating a lot of that over in formatting, and then we'll just be able to just switch out the content and the speakers, not the actual backend stuff.
All right, well, I'm not going to spend more time on that. Let me actually, the other thing wanted to talk about, and before I do that, let me bounce back real quick here to our agenda. So that's what I thought. We just showed the progress on the RETCAMP tokenomics. So, and that's one of the things too, that we try to keep things fairly straightforward. And this is, again, something that is an ongoing work in progress, and there's a lot of going to be only more opportunities from some creative dynamics. But anyway, the important thing is to deliver a solid event that people find value, that they want to refer to their friends and family, and they feel confident promoting. So that's a great segue into one of the things that is pretty substantially an improvement upon is the affiliate program. And this is one of the things that we didn't really have time to put in place from an infrastructure standpoint with DAO Day. And for those people that are new here, DAO Day, this was our foray on February 22nd here. A couple of weeks ago, we proclaimed International DAO Day on 2/22/22, and that's something that's going to be a recurring event. It's going to be a lot bigger in June. It's going to be a 3-day event in June. So a DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization. So we believe that it is the future of work, the future of organizing projects. So the can't reply here in time. I know, right? Well, that's me having a good chat box going here, Blurs. And if somebody's keeping an eye on the live stream chat, it looks good there. So it's Good seeing Julie. So anyway, this affiliate program, again, was something that we didn't have the opportunity to put in place for DAO Day that we are going to be putting in place here for Bootcamp for real estate, blockchain bootcamp for real estate. And we're doing this 101. And the idea with the 101 is to be very clear that it's for beginners. And that's one of the things that we're really looking forward to doing from a hybrid event standpoint. The people that would like to connect locally, maybe help people, maybe even incorporate like I don't know if it really makes sense to do a hardware wallet in a 101, but anyway, so let me show this pie chart here. This was something that I just created to kind of put some numbers or a visualization behind what was doing here. Let me make this a little bit, well, let me just make it bigger so on the screen. So this is, and right now, what do you have the ticket price on the Eventbrite, Tyler?
I had it tentatively at 129 with a $30 coupon down to 99, but then I realized I converted Matic too high, so we wanted to make it 44 Matic, and I was thinking that a Matic was $2.50. It's actually more like $1.50, so I need to adjust those prices. But yeah, so right now it's 99 bucks, and I can drop that if we need to.
Fabulous. And what we're looking at here is doing basically it's a 80% affiliate program, and the 30% would be provide the opportunity for a partnered community, like whether that's REtoken in the case. I mean, this is our project, so that's not necessarily a great example, but like Mrs. Yonks and I are hosting these various meetup groups, like the 3CO, or I guess it's CO Win or Cow In. So the opportunity there, or whatever community, Bankless DAO, if they wanted to get on board with this blockchain bootcamp for real estate, to have an incentivized mechanism where, so this is the, again, very similar to what we were talking about in the token supply distribution type of a dynamic, but this is just on the actual ticket sales on an affiliate basis. And this is one of the things we are looking at using Eventbrite, which is a Web2 event ticketing platform. And then we have already utilized Unlock Protocol and are looking at getting Stripe.com set in so that we could actually, if somebody wanted to acquire an NFT ticket, and this is something, let me actually go off of this screen real quick, and I'm gonna bring it open just for everybody's benefit. My ticket and this is my ticket on OpenSea. Let's see. Well, here's one for the founding citizen of Token Town. And then the one that I was going to look at here was the DAO Day 222 ticket that we've already talked a little bit about. And I'll provide a link here. So again, this is the ticket, and this is the fabulous thing about utilizing Unlock Protocol is that, especially on Polygon, is it makes a very easy dynamic. And what we're looking to do here too with this that's very different as well is that this content is going to be refreshed on a very regular basis. Like we're already putting forward, going back to our tokenomics, 40 seasons minimally, and the opportunity of this going on perpetually, because blockchain technology changes very quick. We just wanted to put the tokenomics behind the first 40 seasons. We believe, anyway, I'm not going to talk about any more about the tokenomics, but the affiliate program, is there any questions on this? This is the thing that I'm most excited about here for RETCamp, this blockchain bootcamp for real estate.
By the way, Profit Margin, you'd mentioned that you've got some expertise in real estate. You don't necessarily have to represent a specific community to be a partner. If you wanted to just be a partner as yourself, you could just take all the 80%. If the community setup was designed for communities that are pushing it within the communities, and then maybe one person or one or two people that are really driving all the traffic. So we didn't, you have the opportunity to be the affiliate and the partner if you want, or if the partner is designed to be a community and the affiliate is designed to be a person, unless you already have a big network without a community. So I just want to throw that out there because you said you had expertise in the space, and if you had some people that you thought would do this, you can sign up. So I just want to offer that.
Yeah, I don't necessarily have, I don't have a lot of people in mind for it. I've kind of been off of Web 2 and social media for a while, and my hesitance in coming back to real estate was just, the whole gentrification issue, and I really want to see it go in a different direction. So, I see some power in the model. I am curious of just timeline on when that can either monetize in the short term, or what that's actually going to look like in terms of real world, either like call it investment in holding the token, or monetizing part of that. I still am in a place where I'm pursuing regaining financial independence, so that part's important. Would like to be able to sort of quantify that just a little bit more at some point, but I dig the idea. And the way I would go about it is just kind of in the old school networking way, and go out and start contacting real estate brokers and even offices, but chat about creative ideas later. But yeah, I don't have a big existing network, but yeah, I mean, networking is kind of what you do as a real estate broker. And I think there's enough people out there that are in the real estate industry already that would like to see it go in a positive direction, that I could see making something like that happen, possibly starting a project to legitimize an actual partner relationship, and bring some other people on within that group to help hold onboarding meetings, or to get people into boot camp, that kind of thing.
That's love hearing that. And that's one of the things that we're looking forward to really doing with this, is creating a solid economic incentive. And this is really like one of the reasons that we wanted to tokenize this product, is really provide people an opportunity to regularly participate. And one of the things that we have utilized in the past, and this is something else that we're looking to utilize here for this, is another Web3 tool called Coordinate. And that's one of the things I haven't put any effort going back to the tokenomics on the what it's going to look like for season 0, and that's something that I'm going to look at doing here between now and I don't know if everybody saw, but and let me actually go back to that here real quick, because this is one of the things that trying to do better at is getting things on the calendar ahead of time. And right now this is EST. We just for a consistency standpoint, we normally communicate our events in EST, but where I was going with that is I'm going to go ahead and put on here our RETCAMP, and this is our Google Calendar, because we're not having a community call on Wednesday because of travel to Miami, but let's do this working group number 3, and we'll put this for 2 hours, and I'll get all of the other stuff set up for that. But anyway, coming back, let me get that agenda here real quick. So I lost the page that I was on.
For Coordinate?
I've got Coordinate up right now, but I was looking here for my incognito window that I had for the agenda, but I don't know what happened to it. So let's see. All right. So getting back to the agenda, one of the things that I've been having a little bit of conversation with Tyler about, but before we go on, what is everybody's thoughts on this affiliate program? This is something that I'm personally very, very excited about.
I love the opportunity to provide DAOs and clubs and meetup groups and realtors that are not super busy right now, just an extra revenue stream. So one of the things that we started thinking about was, what would it look like to tell your network about something and you get actually most of the revenue? I don't know if I've ever heard of an 80% affiliate program before, but we're pretty convinced that this model is something that will help us be community owned and operated. And REtoken and all of our projects are owned by the Triple Win Foundation. So it's actually, we're starting from a nonprofit structure anyway. But I'm excited about what this thing could look like moving forward.
Oh, and I was just replying here to the profit margin, have a Zoom comment. Being able to spend or transfer tokens, especially as they've gone up in value, directly into a cooperative investment would be an interest as well. And one of the things that literally just within the last 24 hours, we launched a cooperative housing investment club. And we had our very first working group on that here last night. And that's one of the things that we're putting framework in place, like on our D work. And this is one of the things here literally tonight is potentially going to create the legal entity. And one of the conversations was, and I'll take that offline a little bit, but so the investment club is definitely a vehicle specifically surrounding cooperative housing, and we'll be having more conversations about that, because that we really believe that that can be a solution for the equitable, affordable housing crisis. And then the opportunity of getting some network effect. But anyway, we're here today to talk about the blockchain bootcamp for real estate. So the affiliate program, like one of the things, why don't you, Tyler, talk a little bit as far as how that you've got the Eventbrite structured. Is that online right now? Do you have a link for that?
It is. Let me put the link up. So the way that we are structuring this is, Eventbrite's not our favorite because it's not Web3. We try to do everything that is easily available in Web3. Those are the tools we prefer. So I just put the link up. And so the first thing is, on the Eventbrite situation, we want to make sure that our affiliates actually get paid. So the two options that Eventbrite provides are either I could keep creating a new event for every single affiliate, which seems pretty inefficient, or I could do a coupon code for every affiliate that was big enough that people should want to use it. So I made it, and again, if you click on the tickets with the affiliates are $30 off. And that way, everybody that comes in, I can see how many times each coupon code was used, and then I know how many tickets to give credit to that partner for. So the our pal Rosetta signed up to be the first affiliate, so she's online. I signed up to be an affiliate. Any of you guys who want to be, just sign up, and we will get you going. I didn't want to just automatically sign up everybody because I don't know who actually wants to do it and who doesn't. But yeah, Jason, if you click the ticket window, the green. And then on the top left, right above early bird, where it says enter promo code. If you type in, just type in Tyler. This is what they actually look like. And then I can see how many times an affiliate code has been used for each time. So it's the solution, as soon as we get this online, is going to be unlock protocol using that. We can directly link to somebody's locks with Matic, and we can also take credit cards. We can track that directly. This is a hybrid solution until that's online.
And just a side note, I'm still looking at how eerily similar our logo is to Proppy's logo, and I don't even know how that materialize that way. Side note, I am going to be in Miami at the Crypto for Real Estate event that Proppy.com, and I'll provide a link on that. But great job, Tyler. And this is again why that I very regularly say that you are my superpower, because like this is how ready that we already are for taking orders, and our confidence as far as delivering a solid event from a scope of delivery. This will be substantially easier than the event that we just put on here for DAO Day on 2/22/22. And again, go ahead, Tyler.
Thank you. I always appreciate that. There's one other thing that I wanted to point out. If you go back off the ticket page, scroll down a little bit where it says about this event. That's our agenda. So that's what we're offering. If people are saying, well, I don't really know what I'm going to learn, is it worth it? What are we doing? What we wanted to set people up for is maybe they've heard of blockchain, maybe they think blockchain and Bitcoin are the same thing and they don't understand any of it, or maybe they bought some Bitcoin in their in a wallet, whatever. So we just want to give people the real 101, what blockchain is, why it matters, how NFTs work, and this is where 5280, to your point earlier, when you said things like what's a DAO and what is like how do crypto NFTs work, so many of these things are questions that we get all the time. They're great questions, they're really important, and we want to answer them in a very thorough way. So people attend this thing, you don't have to know anything at all. You've never even have to heard of blockchain. We're going to start at the very beginning and not use any tech talk and tell people what it is and how it works, so that you can have a reasonable conversation about it moving forward. And then you can say, okay, I'm interested in NFTs, but I'm not really interested in crypto, or I think DAOs are fantastic and I need to start one, or I need to be part of one, whatever. Like, we're going to cover all this stuff, very basic 101. And like I said, this is a course that you can sign up for, your partners, your parents, your adult kids, the people in your life that are saying, man, I just don't know what this is all about. This is the place to send them.
The best thing about this format is that it's not going to be static. This ticket is going to provide a 1-year access to any future boot camps that we're going to be updating on an as needed basis and delivering in a hybrid event format on a monthly basis. So and this is again where we're looking at, like, one of the things that we're going to be talking about here momentarily. So anyway, I'm gonna stop talking and let I'm in awe. This looks absolutely beautiful. Just out of curiosity, were these the banners that got submitted on that DWork bounty?
They were. So our new member jumped right in on DWork, and since we didn't have any other submissions, I figured he would be the winner, or she, I think it's a man. That person would be the winner, and so I went ahead and used the work. So we need to get that approved and paid out. And yeah, so one of the things that we do in DWork is we do publish public bounties. So this person wasn't actually a member of our community, just found us on a bounty board, submitted some beautiful work, and it was perfect. It was exactly what we wanted, and now we're gonna pay him out. Like, perfect, right?
Yeah, and I was just going to and Double D, there's still an opportunity here, Double D, and I just saw the live stream comments, still opportunity to submit on this graphic design bounty.
I just want to throw this out, Double D, our pal in Lagos, Nigeria. We are so thrilled that we have actually multiple members in Nigeria, and we kind of joke around when we're done with Token Town Denver, we were thinking about Token Town Lagos. So this is meant to be a global community and an opportunity.
For sure. And going back to this blockchain bootcamp for real estate, one of the things that's so fabulous is that we're, again, being very intentional about laying a solid foundation here with what we've built at REtoken, the real estate DAO, to really provide a framework where we can sustainably scale residential real estate. And I believe it was the profit margin that was talking about Citadel. And Mrs. Yonks and I on the REtoken DAO, we actually had an AMA with the community managers over at Citadel back in January, and they were even very intentional about commenting that they have no desire to look at right now. It's not on their roadmap for residential real estate because they don't have a go-to-market strategy for tokenizing residential real estate. And one of the things that we're wanting to do that really distinguish or differentiate us from other projects is that we're taking a community first approach here. And then we're also not wanting to tokenize like rental situations. We're really wanting to develop a shared equity appreciation model through like this cooperative housing investment club. And then like Token Town, the HOA destroyer. And it'll be quite interesting to see how that unfolds. But I think that we'll all be pretty excited to see what happens with this investment club that we put online. Because one of the things that we were talking a little bit about with this cooperative housing investment club very early on is acquiring several founding citizen NFTs of Token Town, the HOA destroyer. But anyway, that's lots of conversations that we'll be having in different channels on Token Town and cooperative housing.
There's one other thing about this is that the Citadel guys are awesome. They're right on point. There are a couple of things to keep in mind, though. They very specifically prohibit U.S. investment because they don't want to be regulated by the SEC. They're not based here, and they don't allow U.S. investment. So that's something that a lot of real estate projects that are out there, and there's some good ones, they overwhelmingly are either complying with securities regulation by limiting to your accredited investors, or they're just prohibiting U.S. investment altogether. We're trying to comply and also be available to non-accredited investors, so kind of the everyman investment. That's what we're going for.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we really put forward when we created our light paper. And I'm gonna actually link this up because this is for people to really understand what we're wanting to do. And I'm going to provide a link here to everybody for everybody's benefit on the live stream that may be watching this, because this is something that we went through a process and created this light paper. We passive income, and we're really wanting to create the opportunity for everyone through real estate ownership and all the benefits that we believe that Web3 real estate blockchain technology can provide. And here's our light paper that we created back in I think this was December, but again, here it is on the live stream. And I'll put this in the Zoom chat for everybody as well. So I see a comment here from 5280. I am a real estate agent. I do not understand tokenizing real estate, buying a home with Bitcoin, Ethereum. How can renters become owners via your program? So that's actually a great question. And this is one of the things that we're still building out what that process looks like. We don't have a clear answer for a shared equity appreciation tokenomics, if you will. But like when you think about the big value proposition for real estate professionals here, and this is one of the things that we're going to be trumpeting pretty loudly is, and this is something here, passive income. Right now, the way that we understand the real estate profession is that it's largely transactionally oriented. A real estate professional, real estate agent, whatever, they do a deal, they get compensated for that deal, then they go on to the next deal. The huge value proposition, we believe, in the tokenization of real estate, and this is something that NFTs were a big topic of conversation in 2021, where artists discovered through the smart contracts for NFTs their ability to have royalties. Now imagine yourself as a real estate professional. Now, one of the things that's important to note, you're not actually tokenizing real estate. The way that here in the US, and we're going to operate from a very myopic lens, because one of the things that we believe the US market is a tough nut to crack as far as real estate tokenization. And we're going to be working here, since most of us are based in the US, on this process, but the opportunity is global. But what we believe through the smart contracts of real estate tokenization, and at the end of the day, you're not actually tokenizing a property, you're tokenizing an SPV, a special purpose vehicle, AKA a business legal entity that can exist in perpetuity. And then, so like as a real estate professional, the real estate professional would sell the real estate to a business, and then whoever is doing that tokenized deal, then what happens is that you're taking the business, and then through the operating agreement of the business, the bylaws, whatever the case may be, depending on what local jurisdiction you're doing it within, you're actually going to be representing. So imagine like a property, and just to keep it real easy, $100,000 property, right? So imagine on that $100,000 property that you have 100 tokens. So each token would functionally cost $100. Some real simple math there. So what would that look like is that each person that owns one token, they would have one vote. So that's kind of the way that can be managed. And that's one of the big value propositions is from the ownership. And there's so many other aspects from title management, or just like one of the conversations, Mrs. Yonks and I, with my parents, we were going through the process here in the Front Range of Colorado, buying a house with my parents, doing a 1031 exchange. And like something that we believe that should be much more transparent is inspections. We were looking or potentially interested in some properties, but due to whatever the inspection was, the previous person that was under contract pulled out. Now, it's really a travesty, in our opinion, that inspection isn't available for us when we're looking at making a $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 home purchase, to see what somebody said was a red flag that caused somebody else to pull out of that. But anyway, we'll be talking more about that. And those are the conversations that we're absolutely going to be having in this blockchain bootcamp for real estate, is really showcasing what the value proposition. But going back to what I didn't fully realize was that we believe that through these smart contracts, the ability for the tokenized deal maker, because it's not the person that sold the real estate, because remember, that transaction was already done. The real estate was sold to the business. Okay, transaction done. Now, whoever's putting the tokenized deal together, from, the paperwork and all of those agreements, as far as the legal entity, stuff like that, the negotiation, the tokenized deal maker. So we believe that the opportunity for the tokenized deal maker to get a small percentage, and we're talking like maybe 0.5%, 1%, something like micro transactional, every time that security token is bought or sold. Because what happens here is a tokenized property, again, it's owned by a business. A business properly ran can exist perpetually. So the opportunity to tokenize and run a tokenized property through a business that it can exist perpetually, that may negate the need of that piece of property ever being bought or sold again. So anyway,
here, Jason, there's a couple comments. So a couple things. Profit margin, great comment, great analogy. Similar to how you'd put it, property in a trust or LLC, but the vehicle itself is tokenized like shares of stocks in an index. Similar. I think that's a great analogy, and that's one that I use a lot because people understand the stock market. It's a little bit different than like if you buy a share of Amazon, you can just sell it tomorrow or sell it whenever because it's hotly traded. The only big difference with this is that we are not guaranteeing a buy or sell instantly and forever. We're working out some of the liquidity on that. 5280, to your question about a tokenized deal like a timeshare. No, it would be similar to, so just imagine in this scenario, you are renting a house to you're the owner of a house and you're renting it to somebody for $2,500 a month. Every time they pay their rent, maybe you give them a token worth $25. and then they own it. And every time they have an extra $25, they just buy a token, and then they're accumulating equity in the property. The big difference is that, and the kind of the driver on this is, if the two scenarios are either you are a landlord with roommates, or you're a bunch of roommates together paying somebody else's mortgage. And what we really want people to do is take an equity position in their own space. So this whole idea of, if I can buy as I see fit, then I can start accumulating equity. So if I'm renting a room in somebody else's house for, $600 a month, I can start buying equity in that situation, and that way my rent isn't just going away. So those are the scenarios that we're playing with. The other opportunity for this is to reach people outside of the capital stack. So you think about people like, full-time Uber drivers, or self-employed people on Etsy, or people who, they're running a successful business, but because of all their write-offs, that they look like they don't have any income on paper. So those are all people that we think would be great candidates of saying they don't fit into what Chase or Citibank or whoever would want to lend to, but they're potentially great candidates. So we can reach all those people through these decentralized mortgages and these different tokenized opportunities. So yeah, a token would entitle you to a share of the profit. It wouldn't necessarily entitle you to a share of the usage of the house. We're just splitting up the ownership. The actual use the tenants might be the owners, but they probably won't be.
And
Gotcha.
and one of the entity types, talking here from a Colorado lens standpoint, because Mrs. Yonks and I are based in Colorado. We're also very fortunate that Colorado, our current governor, is very forward from a tech standpoint. He was one of the keynotes here at the very recent ETH Denver. It was kind of funny. We were on I think it was Mrs. Yonks that was on a phone conversation with through the FINRA arbitration process or something. And anyway, am I getting this story right? Wasn't that person talking about how Colorado is going to be accepting crypto for tax payments?
Yeah, so there are two different things. Yes, our governor was actually one of the founders of a tech incubator called Techstars. So he's pretty forward thinking around technical issues. He actually just announced that, I don't know if this is a proposed law or an actual law, but Colorado is going to start accepting tax payments in cryptocurrency. I believe there was a state senator from Arizona and a governor candidate from Texas that proposed the similar things. And so this stuff is kind of popping up all over the place. As far as the FINRA story, FINRA, if you're not familiar with it, is the government body that regulates the security and insurance industries. And I'm a FINRA arbitrator. So if you sue your stockbroker, that kind of thing, you're going to get a panel of people like me who hear your case, neutral people. I was talking to somebody from FINRA, and he said one of the challenges is that people keep bringing FINRA cases that involve crypto, and they don't regulate crypto, but it's such a common thing. They said we don't really know what to do with it yet because it's not in our purview of regulation, but it's definitely something that's out there. So it was just a really interesting conversation about the role of government in a very unregulated industry.
And one of the things that I never completed there is that Colorado has this limited cooperative association. And I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, but from a cooperative standpoint, cooperatives historically have only allowed patron members. And one of the game changers about this limited cooperative association business type is it allows an investor member class. And that's one of the things that we, like Tokentown, Colorado, the sub-DAO of Tokentown, we're going to be structuring that as a limited cooperative association, just like our cooperative housing investment club in Colorado. Here in Colorado, we're going to be structuring that as a limited cooperative association as well. And then that will easily allow us to, own some other businesses or operate, as an investment club. So anyway, I saw Blurs hopped off there. Thank you, Blurs. Comment there as far as an overview of REtoken. And that's one of the things that we'll be, again, having more conversations about, but the blockchain bootcamp that we're building here, this is something that we're inviting other people in the space. And I'm very looking forward to connecting with other leaders in the Web3 real estate ecosystem here in Miami coming up literally in a couple days. Going to be catching up with Teresa and Rosetta also within the REtoken community here in Miami. And one of the things that, true story, a year ago, real estate wasn't even personally on my roadmap or our roadmap, Mrs. Yonks and I, but as serial entrepreneurs, we really saw the immense opportunity that this provides, and then the opportunity of just creating some more sustainable and scalable ecosystems that provide a better path to self-sovereignty. And that's one of the things that we'll be having more conversations about as well. So yes, LCAs allow multiple member entities. They can also be public benefit companies and or B Corp certified. Yes, we're big fans. And that's one of the things, Triple Win Foundation, win-win-win, public benefit corporations, they have that baked into their articles of organization that they require the board of a public benefit corporation to look at the triple bottom line. And that's one of the things that we are doing here. And we'll have more conversations about REtoken, the real estate DAOs. We very recently just passed a soft proposal to incorporate REtoken DAO into Triple Win Foundation. And we've been making a little bit use of that already with our Notion page. And that's where we've been looking at that. So anyway, looking at the last segment here, this is one of the things that I'm really looking forward to is the opportunity utilizing like this DWork board, and profit margin is a really great example how effective that is. And I don't even know exactly how our Discord or whatever showed up on Profit Margin's radar. But one of the things, I was on a recent earlier, I can't remember if it was, anyway, Gary V, the social media guru that he was really talking about getting more feedback from people. And this is one of the things that I think that we have a unique opportunity to incentivize people through social token remuneration. We've got REtoken for the real estate DAO, and then we also have RETCAMP, and this is one of the things that we're doing to signify this specific product that we're creating here, RETCAMP. It's basically a tokenized product that we're creating. But anyway, the idea is to create like one of the tools that we're currently planning on putting online is Active Campaign, which falls in the same category as MailChimp, email marketing, automation, CRM, that sort of thing. And the goal here is to ask some questions. We want to get some feedback as far as what people, because like sometimes, like myself that has been living and breathing this DAO Web3 stuff from a fire hose literally since almost April of 2021. Sometimes it's hard for me to have a frame of reference for somebody, and even before that, I still, even though I'm older with 2 adult kids, I still categorize myself as a digital native. I don't know if anybody's heard that term before, much more so than my slightly younger counterpart, Mrs. Yonks. But the idea here, what questions to ask new people for on an intake form? And I'm going to stop talking with that.
Something that I thought might be helpful is just how familiar are you with, and maybe check some boxes of saying, I am familiar with DAOs, NFTs, Web3, blockchain, crypto, yes, no on each of them. And then we would, if people check no on all of them, then we know. And if they say, I'm familiar with crypto, but not NFTs, or I, whatever. So I think that'd be helpful. The other question that I think would be good was, do you have a wallet? Because if you have a wallet, there are certain assumptions we can make about what we can talk to you about, like airdrops and things like in tokenomics. If you don't have a wallet, you might not be familiar with any of that. And that's something that I just really want to make sure. And Jason's being very kind as far as me not being digital native. I'm 42. I use Hotmail, which I've been waving that flag for 23 years. So go Microsoft. But I just think it's really important that we don't leave anybody behind. I don't want to have a situation where people say, man, this is a cool project and I love the mission, but I just don't understand what you're talking about. And then they leave. And that's something I really want to make sure that wherever people are, that we just start at the beginning. If you're at level 1, we start there. If you're at level, 25, then we start there, whatever.
So one question that I was actually, and I was just typing this in here, do you currently have an Ethereum wallet that you self-custody, i.e. MetaMask, etc.? And what do you have like a way that we could just put that on a question, Tyler? What you just talked about?
Did you mean for Eventbrite or in Notion?
No, like I'm, and I don't know if you can see it here. I hear our baby in the background, but I mean, I'm literally like right now putting some bullet points as far as some questions that we can ask people. And this isn't something that we necessarily need to have finalized. I mean, the opportunity for this to be an ongoing work in progress. And yeah.
Yeah, if you don't mind me jumping in there,
Please.
I think this would be definitely a great ongoing project. And I think that in terms of onboarding and not bringing people, in too deep too fast, but likewise also not spending time covering things people already know, like maybe they're already familiar with real estate because they're like 5280, they're already in the business, but new to Web3, or likewise, so doing those things and then giving them layers of onboarding we take care of. So like, say they don't know anything about crypto or blockchain, well, we handle that separately with some of these intro videos that we did, something like that, and then walk them through wallet or whatever have, so we could have layers. Like maybe we don't start with 101, maybe we start with 050, or something like that, go to 070 and 090, but
no, and that's and I'm just going to read real quick here from 5280. So I do not understand the mission. I do not know any of the terms you use, just a little awareness of crypto, do not know Web3, do not have a wallet. I do not know Discord, Troll, Doodle, Hot Wallet, security. So anyway, how it all relates to real estate is all of this technology is going to fundamentally change the way that real estate from a process standpoint, because right now real estate is not a technology enabled process. That's the big takeaway. And like, just going back to the example of like, I believe as a home buyer, if there's an inspection that's done on a house, why is it that needs to be obscured from me when I'm talking about making a $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 home purchase? And that's just one example. And then the other example is like being able to, because instead of taking weeks to buy a house, the opportunity of buying a house on the blockchain, if it's set up and done, it can be done in seconds compared to weeks. So there's so many opportunities, like, and then like on a new build process, there's a lot of bottlenecks because like at the end of the day, neighborhoods, most new build neighborhoods are getting built the same way that they have for generations. And that's the other opportunity. I mean, we're seeing 3D printed neighborhoods exist. And the opportunity of leveraging 3D printing technology to quickly or more quickly build out a new neighborhood. Or for example, like we're talking about Token Town, the HOA destroyer. When you think about HOAs, an HOA is a governance framework for a community, but it's not a technology-enabled governance framework. And what blockchain provides is easy to deploy technology-enabled solutions. And that's one of the things that we're getting very good at here at REtoken, the real estate DAO, is seeing technology solutions, but then more importantly is that we're providing education to people, real estate people, whether that's real estate professionals, or it's people that are real estate investors, or people that are frustrated with their inability to obtain equitable home ownership because the barriers of entry in today's system continue to go up and up. So the opportunity for providing technology-enabled solutions, blockchain technology, we really believe that that's the biggest opportunity as serial entrepreneurs, which is why that we, Mrs. Yonks and I, have leaned so heavily into what we're building here. And that's, I mean, we could talk hours and hours about that, because like a year ago, Mrs. Yonks and I, we didn't even have our own crypto wallet. I mean, we're newer to this space, but then again, as serial entrepreneurs, we really saw the opportunity to fundamentally change lots of different things, but for the betterment of everybody that serves at the end of the day.
The biggest thing on this is, if you think about private equity funds, hedge funds, just mowing through entire neighborhoods, paying 20% over asking in cash, and just, I mean, they're literally chomping through neighborhoods like Pac-Man. You can say to the little guy, well, you've got an option too. You can buy a REIT, or you can buy a real estate mutual fund, or you can buy whatever. That guy can't say, but I want to buy $100 worth of 123 Main Street. I don't want to buy a REIT. I don't want to buy a real estate mutual fund. I want to invest in that house for the same reason that you want to invest in that house, but you have $600,000 in cash and I don't. So now what? So it's really just kind of evening out the playing field. The other thing is, from a roommate situation, there are a whole lot of people that would love to start building equity, but they just can't. They're stuck in these high rent situations, trying to pay these really high rents and save down payments, knowing that they're going to be competing with cash offers, and being able to say to somebody, you don't actually need to come up with the whole amount of the entire mortgage and the entire down payment up front. If you've got $100, buy what you want and start letting that hopefully appreciate. But if it declines, then, you know, fine. But that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to give people more options who don't have them right now. I've got Jason and I actually have some rental property right now, and we'd like to get this set up in our own house so that we can start giving our tenants tokens every month. That house isn't tokenized yet, but that's what we want to do. Transfer the house to a corporation, tokenize it. Every time people pay their rent on time, we'll give them a token, or anytime they want to buy a token, they can buy like a little piece of that house. So their rent just isn't going out the window. They're building equity. Does that make sense?
And probably another story is that for cooperative housing. I was actually at the National Association of Housing Cooperatives in St. Pete's back in November, very recently here. And it's generally regarded that the most equitable, affordable housing is cooperative housing. It's just not something that proliferates here in the US for a lot of different reasons. And like one, I can't even remember exactly where it was at, but there was such a demand for residency within this cooperative housing community. And right now, most cooperative housing units are MDUs, multiple dwelling units, like similar to apartment buildings, but unlike apartment buildings, cooperative housing has an equitable component. And there was literally a 2-year wait list for this cooperative housing neighborhood because there was so much demand and just not enough options available. And like, there's very limited, I couldn't provide here in Colorado in the Front Range, I couldn't tell you 5 cooperative housing units. And as far as the quantity of people that the cooperative housing here in Colorado houses, it's very, very small. So like in the baby boomer segment, for example, like, and this was something that my parents are baby boomers. And I was having the conversation with my parents. I was like, hey, you know, the Colorado real estate market's hot. You should sell your house and then look at something else. And my dad was like, okay, well, if we sell our house, then what? And, you know, they've got like a 3 or 4 bedroom, but they're only using like 1 or 2 bedrooms themselves. And I don't think that that's an isolated story here in America today. And the way that I understand, one of the contributors to the affordable housing crisis here in the US is that there's not enough housing solutions for baby boomers where they would move out of their empty nest situation into a housing situation that they would feel comfortable with. And like, that's one of the solutions that we believe that we can bring to market is like, okay, boomer. And, you know, we really believe too, that the global pandemic, this coronavirus pandemic that we've been subjected to for the last couple of years has only amplified people's need for community. And we really believe that cooperative housing can be a solution for cooperative housing for our baby boomers, where that they can have more community in a single family house and then grow old gracefully. But that's a longer conversation for another day. That's one of the things that we've got pipelined from a vision standpoint. So anyway, we had 2 hours allocated for this. I feel really good about what we've relayed and had some new people here tonight, Profit Margin and 5280. We're absolutely committed. And I don't know if you all saw that, but just pulled off our community call that we normally host here on Zoom at 5 Mountain, 7 Eastern time on Wednesdays. But again, I'm traveling to Miami and going to be having a lot going on. And then, but we put on this working group for Sunday at 1 Mountain, 3 Eastern time. And we're really excited about building out this blockchain boot camp for real estate. We really believe, because a lot of people may not be ready for disruption within the real estate industry. It doesn't matter. Technology doesn't wait for everybody to give its stamp of approval, and technology has disrupted so many industries, and real estate is an industry that's ripe for disruption. And we really believe that the people that can see, yeah, things aren't necessarily the best from a process standpoint. Technology could potentially improve things in some different areas. In real estate tokenization, the big opportunity that it provides, and this is a conversation that Mrs. Yonks and I here in 2022 are going to be asking, but more importantly, answering, is how anyone can own real estate for $100 or less. And we really believe that that's going to be mostly delivered through blockchain technology. But anyway, any final thoughts from anybody before we call working group number 2 here for RETCamp, which is our blockchain bootcamp for real estate? Final thoughts.
Just want to say thanks for what you guys are doing, man. I'm stoked to learn more about the project and help you flesh it out and yeah, make it functional and actually, you know, manifest this thing. So yeah, kudos.
Awesome. We're super excited to have you on the team. So looking forward to working with you.
For sure. Yeah, let's talk soon.
Well, and thank you, Profit Margin, for contributing there on D-Work. And like I said, get that wallet connected. We'll get that REtoken, and then that will only provide some more opportunities. And one of the things that you can provide as a unique perspective as a new person into our community, because D-Work is a very new tool for us, but we're very excited as far as the capabilities to really make it easier for people to learn more in a very intentional and architected call it like an onboarding quest, if you will. And our friends over at Bankless DAO have an absolutely fabulous first quest. And that's one of the things that I think that we could do something similar to make it easier. And this blockchain bootcamp for real estate that we're creating will largely fulfill that, I believe, in a sustainable and scalable manner that we can deliver, that we can get some remuneration from through the ticket sales, but then also the people that are promoting it can have a solid affiliate program. But anyway, I'm going to stop talking again.
5280, any thoughts, ideas, comments? Okay, well, thank you guys both so much for joining us. Hopefully this is something that was interesting, you want to be part of, and we will have more, we'll be in touch soon with the details on the boot camp, and we would love to explain this stuff from the very beginning during this workshop so that all the questions that people have, like what's a wallet and what is an airdrop and how does any of this stuff work, and I don't know what Discord is or whatever, like this, we'll answer all those.
And for those of us that are in Colorado, we're absolutely looking forward to having some IRL meetups. We don't want this to be an online only affair. And I think that that's one of the huge opportunities with this blockchain bootcamp, is to really design a hybrid event type of dynamic that allows some IRL plus some online, some technology, replay magic and stuff like that for it to be an absolutely fabulous, well-rounded event.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Have a great night, great week. And if I don't know if I'll follow me on Twitter, I'll be posting some good stuff in Miami while I'm out there, but have a good one.